Okay, so a lot of questions that we get about Sunstrike 4 is focused about the doctrine system that we have, or what has been commonly called the general system. It is something new to the Sunstrike series, so that hasn't been around before. So let me give you a rundown of it. When you start a mission, whatever mission it is, you get a setup of 3 distinct doctrines that you can choose. Each of these kind of goes after a historical figure. For the Germans, for example, we have the infantry doctrine that is following the teachings of Blaskowitz. We have the armor doctrine that is following Guderian, and we have the support doctrine that is following Fedor von Bock. For each mission, you can choose whomever you want, and the progress that you do with these doctrines is it keeps throughout the campaign. So as you progress through the campaign, you unlock stars depending on how well you do the missions, and with these stars you can unlock new skills for each of the doctrines, let's say. What we didn't want to have is like, okay, this doctrine gives you, this skill gives you like +5, and this skill gives you like +5 on this, and then you have like 300 skills that practically don't do anything. We wanted to have each skill to have a very unique, let's say, give something very unique to the player. So, for example, with Fedor von Bock, you will unlock smoke discharge systems for your vehicles, so that your tanks can create a smoke area around them to stealth them. So we want the player to go back and say, hey, wait, now that I have the smoke discharge system, how would I have actually played that one mission where actually it would have been better to go a little bit stealthy around? So that you go back, play a mission again with a different doctrine or different general or something like that, and different skills, and the mission gives you something completely different then. The way that is set up is, depending on which doctrine you choose, you get some of the skills no matter if you have unlocked any stars or not. So for example, with Fedor von Bock, you will get the army telemeter, which gives your artillery units a bit more accuracy. You get army mechanics, which is a really cool skill. Normally you are not able to repair armor on units, because we figured back in the day, like, repair crews weren't carrying around large steel plates to mend them on new units. But with this army mechanics, you will be able to repair armor on vehicles up to 50% of armor. And you get smoke grenades for your infantry units, and you get towing hooks, so that normally only special kind of units like trucks can pull artillery, for example. But with this, all of the vehicles in your arsenal, let's say, get towing hooks, so that you are more versatile in how you bring your artillery units around, for example. Let's compare this to Guderian, for example. He has 2 skills that all of his units will get. Armored Perseverance, so crew members always survive critical hits to a vehicle. So let's say your tank is being destroyed. Normally, if it's just a normal hit that destroys a vehicle, infantry units, the crew of the vehicle will come out and you can use them again in another vehicle or as normal infantry. Though they'll not be as good as, let's say, machine gunners or something like that, but it's still something that you salvage from a destroyed vehicle. If a critical hit hits a tank, the crew inside is killed in an instant. But with Armored Perseverance that Guderian has, the crew survives even a critical hit. And the other one is a hatch lookout. So a lot of commanders will actually, or generals, doctrines, will actually give you the hatch lookout because we figured that it's kind of crucial. The hatch lookout will make your vehicles be able to open the hatch, the tank hatch, and look around so that they will have a further viewing distance and see more. But it also makes them much more susceptible to infantry fires. So actually the infantry can fire off the guy that looks out of the hatch. And if you lose them, and you lose too much of them, basically infantry can fire out all of the crew members in your tank if you're not careful enough about that. So yeah, I mean, you unlock these, and actually you can go back and say, okay, I want to reskill for this mission. I mean, you take this improvised armor, and for this mission I want to have anti-tank mines. So yeah, you can do that as well for each and every mission there, and for each and every doctrine that you have. There was kind of like the fear that we are gonna do this as a kind of pay-to-win thing, that you can kind of unlock these things with money or buying DLCs or something like that. No, that's not. Sunstrike is an old school series. We're going the old school way. You buy the game once, you get whatever is in it. There's room for improvements always, of course, and of course the Second World War gives you lots of options to expand on the game. With the main game, we're focusing on the European theater and on these 9 doctrines that we have, and we're not gonna shell out like 99-cent DLCs for another doctrine or something like that. The game is balanced for these 3 doctrines per faction, and that is how it's set up. So yeah, that is kind of the rundown on the general system, and you can go back and play each and every mission with each and every doctrine, and it will alter the way in which you play these missions. Okay, so to show you a little bit about the influence of the doctrine system, we jump into the Arras mission, mission in the middle of France, and the first objective in this mission is to capture this gas station here. So all of our units are running low on fuel. They kind of we don't have any fuel with us, only ammunition, and right now we're kind of camping outside of the French gas station, and we kind of made up a nice little ambush here. We have the units hiding in the bushes here, and we see that there's artillery, but it's not manned so far. So if everything goes well, we can kind of get the artillery from them before they are even able to counter our attacks. So let's see. Right now we're all set to don't engage or just shoot when you're being shot at. But what I wanted to show you in regards of the doctrine system, for example, is this neat little unit, the Panzer III E. You can see by how it is outfitted there that that this unit has elite status. So when you choose the general or the doctrine for armored division and the specific skill, you will get an elite unit at the start of the mission. And actually, what is elite at this crew at this unit is the crew inside. So you can actually take out the crew and get into another vehicle. So that is something very cool as well. And it will be more precise and more hard-hitting than other units that of the same thing, like of the same specific unit. So let's see. I'm gonna set my units to engage and hope that they'll be able to counter the French as soon as possible. Oh no, they didn't. I managed to actually get these, but the units down here are still engaged, and I need to work around what they have here. See, these units down here are also engaged. I managed to actually capture their artillery here, but I will need to counter their counterattack because they called for help in the meantime. Kind of like a half good attempt at an ambush here, but well, let's see. We will capture the gas station nonetheless, bring our units in here, and they will refuel at this gas station automatically. So yeah, that's the ambush that we did here. And another special skill that we have from this is the units that we have here. We can actually set them into a sandbag stance. So let's say we are supposing that there's going to be an attack from the north. We set them into fortify stance here, and they will build up sand barracks. which of course increases their defense, but it also makes them immovable. So you will have to think very clearly if you want this, or if you need your units to be very mobile. So yeah, that is one of the skills. Another one of the skills that we got from this doctrine is the mines. So we can just go ahead and plant some mines here and there and well, this. So every rifleman is actually able to spot mines and defuse them, but only if you have a special skill you can actually use your mines yourself. So I can see them now as well, but the enemy of course is not able to see them. So yeah, these are some of the special skills that we can show you in this mission. Another one of course is the opening of the hatch. So let's say we take this tank into this direction. Tanks don't have a really large view range. You need to imagine sitting in one of these steel things and looking outside of the small windows that they have. So the view range is not very high, but if I open the hatch, the view range is greatly increased, but also the possibility of the guy in front getting shot is also increased. So that is one special skill that the armor commander has. So yeah, so much for the skills that we can show you so far. The other skills for the different doctrines you'll need to figure out for yourself when the game ships.